ask that you take a moment to silence your cell phones. Please remain seated during the conferral of degrees. A professional photographer.
afternoon, everyone. I'm Sally McRory, Provost and Executive Vice President of Florida State University, and I welcome you to our wonderful spring commencement exercise, I should say. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and for the singing of the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. I would especially like to thank the FSU Panama City Choral Ensemble for leading the national anthem so beautifully. We assemble this afternoon to pay tribute to our graduates who have worked very hard to earn their degrees and who today embark on all new journeys. On behalf of the university and this assembly, I congratulate you and wish you great success. Commencement is a joyful occasion. In fact, it is this university's most significant celebration. Therefore, our ceremony is full of traditions and symbols that emphasize its importance in the life of the institution. Our processional and our attire have centuries of history behind them. Our commencement follows traditions that began in the Middle Ages. The mace that leads the processional symbolizes the authority and prestige of the university. Our regalia, our robes, our hoods, caps, cords, and tassels identify the institutions from which we've graduated and the degrees we've earned, our academic disciplines, and our distinctions. All of these symbols and traditions add special meaning as you take your place as alumni of Florida State University. They link generation to generation. They tie accomplishments of the past to hopes for the future. Your program provides additional information about these academic symbols and their meaning if you're interested in knowing more about them. It's important for me at this time, and a great pleasure, to recognize a few special guests on the platform who will not be introduced later. Please stand and remain standing until I call all of your names. Audience, please hold your applause until all the names are called. Commander David Stallworth, Naval Service Warfare Center, Panama City. Mr. Frank Hall, Chair of the FSU Panama City's Dean's Council. Mr. Jason Crow, President of the FSU Panama City Development Board. Mr. John Holdnack, President of Gulf Coast State College. Thank you for participating in our ceremony. Next, I'd like to recognize the deans and administrators. Please stand and remain standing until I call all of your names. And audience, again, please hold your applause until all the names are called. Dr. Amy Pollock, Interim Associate Dean, FSU Panama City and College of Applied Studies. Dr. J. Murray Gibson, Dean of the FAMU FSU College of Engineering. Dr. Robert Crew, Associate Dean, College of Social Sciences and Public Policy. Dr. Kathleen McCullough, Associate Dean, College of Business. Dr. Craig Stanley, Associate Dean, College of Social Work. Dr. Marcy Driscoll, Dean of the College of Education. Dr. John Bailey, Professor Emeritus, College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Karen Laughlin, Dean of Undergraduate Studies. Dr. Judith Devine, Senior Associate Dean, Graduate Studies. Dr. Susan Fiorito, Executive Director, Jim Moran School of Entrepreneurship. Dr. Donald Farr, Director of the Dedman School of Hospitality. Dr. Sandra Halverson, Roving Marshal. Dr. Jeffrey Brooks, Head Marshal. And that's our platform party. Please give them a hand. I want to thank all of them for their many contributions to our university. It's important that we acknowledge the faculty of the university. It is they who are ultimately responsible for the quality and the content of the courses and the experiences that you have had. It is they who, through their scholarship, create the knowledge that is conveyed to students and thus to future generations. It is they who, through their commitment and vision, make and preserve this very special institution. So that the students and others in the audience might recognize them, I ask all the faculty to rise. Thank you. And I'd also like to recognize distinguished guests in the audience. Mrs. Leah Dunn, wife of Congressman Dunn. There she is. U.S. Navy Captain, retired Jim, and Mrs. Sandy Defoe. Defoe. It is my pleasure now to present Mrs. Cameron Hatcher, who is the president of the FSU Panama City Student Government Council, and she will now bring a word of welcome on behalf of the FSU Panama City student body.
Good afternoon. I'm so proud that we could all be here today to celebrate our Florida State University graduates. First, I'd like to say congratulations and the greatest thank you to those who have shown such abundant support. I think that at some point growing up, most of us are told to do what we love. But as you know, it's not always easy to figure that out or to make it happen. Some of us know the paths that we want to take early in life, and some of us figure it out a little bit later. But either way, it's never too early, and it's never too late, because each of us are different, and out of the 7.5 billion people in the world, each of us has something different and unique to offer. And recognizing our valuable interests and abilities leads us to a purposeful life and making our positive impact. As we go out to accomplish our goals, cultivate our passions, and take risks, there will be times when people tell us no, situations when we will let ourselves down, and instances when we thought that we gave our best, but it wasn't quite good enough. How we handle these situations and move forward will be a determining factor in our success and our happiness. Each of us are teeming with potential, and when things don't work out, the best thing we can do is look for our next opportunity to grow and demonstrate our strength. The book of James, chapter 1, verse 2 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Let me offer encouragement to all of us here to fervently pursue our passions without holding back, even when it becomes difficult, which it will, and to value the blessings that bring true joy. I hope to see you all loving your lives, your families, and your work. Congratulations, class of 2017.
Thank you, Cameron. I will now call on Dr. Randy Hanna, Dean of FSU Panama City.
Good afternoon, and congratulations on behalf of the entire faculty and staff here at Florida State University, Panama City on a job very, very well done. We're very proud of you, and you're about to join a very select group of people, the alumni of Florida State University. I invite you to join the Alumni Association and participate in the many activities that take place not only here at Florida State University, Panama City, but throughout the country and the world. At this time, I would ask all graduating active duty military personnel and student veterans who have served our country or are serving our country to please stand and be recognized. You will note that Florida State University recognized our graduating veterans and active duty personnel with special red, white, and blue honor cords in recognition of their service to our country. Please join me in thanking them again for their significant contributions to our nation. Now it is my pleasure to recognize students who have achieved an innovative Florida State University honor. Members of our Garnet and Gold Scholar Society have demonstrated their engagement in and beyond the classroom in areas that include leadership, internship, service, international activities, and research. They wear the Garnet and Gold Scholar Medallion with honor. We have 5 honorees this academic year, and their names are, I would ask them to please stand and remain standing until we recognize all of them, and hold your applause until the end. Cynthia Collier, Cameron Hatcher, Catherine May, Spencer Wynn, and Sosie Quarry. Let's congratulate our 5 Garnet and Gold Scholars. Thank you. Now it's my honor to recognize students who have achieved outstanding academic honors. Please stand if you're graduating with honors in your major. Please stand. Thank you. If you're graduating cum laude, if you're graduating magna cum laude, and finally, if you're graduating summa cum laude. Congratulations to each of you. Today, I also like to make a special mention that this academic year is seeing our first graduates from our newest major in the public safety program, our crime scene investigation program, and our newest graduate program, nurse anesthesia. Well done. Now it's my pleasure to welcome our commencement speaker, Dr. Neil Dunn. Dr. Dunn grew up in a multi-generation Army family and lived at 20 different places before he left for college, including an 18-month tour in Vietnam during middle school. He received his Bachelor of Science from Washington and Lee University, his medical doctorate from George Washington University, and his urological residency at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. After medical school, he joined the U.S. Army as a surgical intern. He continued his surgical career in many stations all over the world for almost 12 years before settling in Bay County, Florida in 1990. Dr. Dunn is the founding president of the Advanced Urology Institute with more than 400 employees and offices throughout North Florida. He also founded Panama City Urology Center and the Bay Regional Cancer Center and has a subspecialty interest in advanced prostate cancer. Dr. Dunn represents the 2nd Congressional District of Florida and lives in Panama City with his wife of over 30 years, also a member of our development board, Leah. They have 3 sons and 3 grandchildren. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Neil Dunn.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, Mr. Dean. I appreciate that. Good afternoon to you and to you, Madam Provost, and to all of our many distinguished guests who join us here today. But first and foremost, I want to wish a good afternoon to the graduating class of 2017. This is a great day. Graduates, you will have very few moments like this in your life. Moments where your family, your community, your colleagues and mentors all gather to recognize you with pride. So enjoy it. At moments like this, it serves you well to pause for a moment to reflect on those who were instrumental to your success. So take a moment to thank your family, your role models and mentors, the ones who got you here. Say thank you to your favorite teacher and professor. These people all have a share in your success, and they played a role in you being here today. Graduates, why don't you join me? Stand up, turn around, face the friends and family that came to support you, and let's give them a hand of applause. Thank you. And after you thank them, let's take a day to celebrate and to reflect on how you arrived at this point. Try to remember the obstacles that you overcame and the lessons that you learned. But take just one day to celebrate, because tomorrow the work begins. This milestone, while great, is just a waypoint. It is not an end point. As you're walking off the stage this afternoon, I hope that you're looking forward to your future. You will have many conversations today, and the most common questions you will hear will be, what are your plans? What are your goals? What do you want to do with your life? I hope that you've given some thought to those questions and you have some answers. Let me assure you that whatever your answers are, your goals and plans will change, perhaps many times. And honestly, that's probably a good thing. Goals change for many reasons: new information, new opportunities, new technologies, adverse things that happen in your life, and yes, even love. All of these things will happen to all of you. So remember, you can change your goals, but you need to have some goals, always. And having a good base of knowledge, good judgment, will help you in dealing with the changing realities and changing goals. Over the years, I've learned something about change, both dealing with it and causing it. Change is absolutely going to happen. There are 3 choices you have. You can fight it, you can adapt to it, or you can shape it. My plan was to be a surgeon from high school on. I had grown up in an Army family. My role models were all Army doctors, so I chose to be an Army doctor and followed that path. In 1989, I was living my plan and hitting my goals. I was an attending surgeon in a large Army hospital. I was happily married, 3 children. I was on autopilot. In that year, the Berlin Wall came down. The Cold War was suddenly over. Peace broke out. I was 36 years old, and at no point in my life was the Cold War not the central core issue of our military and foreign policy. Big change all of a sudden. The Reagan tax cuts were working, the economy was growing. World peace was the word of the day. Perhaps somewhat naively, our country decided to declare a peace dividend, and the Army began a huge reduction in force. And all the young surgeons, like myself, started leaving for busier private medical practices. That peace lasted 6 months, but that was long enough for Leah and I to move to Panama City and join a private practice. The problem for us with that change was that I had no idea how to set up and run a private medical practice, a business. I needed employees, office space, supplies, licenses, and more licenses. I adapted to these changes, and I set new goals with the help of several mentors. But there grew on the practice of medicine an ever heavier burden of laws, rules, and regulations. Insurance companies changed, and I had to learn another new set of skills, advocating for the protection of my patients and my profession, advocating for the government in Tallahassee. For a time, we kept up with the changes and even prospered, but the burdens of government rules and regulations grew exponentially until ultimately I felt I had to go to Washington to deal with the painful changes in the world of medicine. Now, I spend my days in a storm of change. Everything we do is about change. And I won't lie to you, it's exciting. And by the way, we had a pretty good week. But what I will tell you is this: you too will have to deal with change. And to do that successfully, you're going to need some tools. So this afternoon, I will leave the graduates with a few straightforward thoughts about the tools you're going to need in the future to deal with change. The first tool is a good education, so all of you have a head start. What you've learned here at FSU, both in and out of the classroom, has given you not only skills, but critical thinking skills. These are the skills that will take you along the way as you work and serve in whatever field you choose. These skills will help you deal with change and be an agent for good change in your community. Another tool you're going to need is perseverance. And regarding this, I have some bad news for you. Some of your worst days may be ahead of you. Now, I don't say that to cast a pall on this day of celebration, but rather to remind you that you have a lifetime ahead of you, and during that time, all of you will experience mistakes, bad luck, and failure. These failures will not define you. They will not define who you are. How you react to these moments will define who you are. Perseverance in the face of adversity will help you deal with change and define you to the rest of the world. You're also going to need personal ethics. Take some time, if you haven't already, to reflect on who you are. What are your personal values? What do you hold dear in life? Your family, your faith, your country? You should know the answers to these questions ahead of time. Without ethics, you are a hollow shell. You won't love yourself, and others won't love you either. Don't be that person. Punctuality. Punctuality is an important tool that will serve you well in life. I was in the Army and I was a surgeon. We were always on time. Punctuality shows that you respect other people. If you are rarely late, well, that just happens. But if you are habitually late, you're just rude. Be punctual. Attitude. It is said that success is 20% skill and 80% attitude. That percentage may be off a little bit, but it's close. Nobody wants to work with anybody or play with anybody or be with anybody who has a bad attitude. Bad attitudes turn winners into losers and losers into pariahs. Be positive, be respectful. It makes all relationships easier, and you never know. The other guy just might be right. Finally, You're going to need mentors. If I've learned one thing in life, it's that you're never done learning. Mentors will guide you, they will teach you, and when needed, they will be honestly critical of you. I've been blessed with some great mentors, men and women who changed my life in more ways than I can count. I'm going to briefly share with you a story of one of my mentors. His name is familiar to many of you. Alan Bentz is Speaker of the House, successful businessman, leader of our community in many, many ways. You may be surprised to know that the story of his early life was one of hard times and adversity. Alan was orphaned at a very young age. Both of his parents perished, and his family lost their farm, which they owned and operated north of the city. He worked all through school as a janitor, a stable hand, retail sales, and picking watermelons. Try to appreciate for a moment just how the deck was stacked against him when he first entered college. No money, no family, no property. His only assets were a keen mind, a good work ethic, and a good attitude. He went to college to add a good education to his toolkit. So he graduated first from Gulf Coast Community College, went on to complete his undergraduate and graduate degrees from Florida State University, and the rest is history. He became one of the most respected figures in the state, in politics and in business. When I arrived in Panama City, I was a political novice. I had never called on my representative at the state or federal levels. I had never owned a business. And in terms of dealing with the government, regulations affecting my business, I was a babe in the woods. I was fortunate to meet Alan Bentz through one of my sons, who played on a youth soccer team that Alan was coaching. The first thing that shone through about Alan to me was that as a coach, he was teaching much more than soccer. He was teaching sportsmanship, citizenship, and leadership. He allowed no dirty plays, no trash-talking their referee, and no childish temper tantrums. To this day, my son names Alan Bentz as his favorite coach of all time, although that son remained in sports all the way through the NFL. Importantly, for the graduates of 2017, this was a person who stood out in regards to abilities, ethics, and attitude. And although Alan Bentz was one of the busiest people in this city, he took the time to coach those kids. And he took the time to coach me. He taught me how to advocate for my patients in Tallahassee and later in Washington. He shared the nuances of ethical leadership and the importance of helping in our community. He continues to do that today. My message to you is go out and look for good mentors. They don't fall into your lap, but they are there. You have to earn them, but seek and you shall find. In closing, if you remember nothing else from today, remember that you should always strive to keep on improving yourself and learn from the best people around you. It's been a great pleasure for Leigh and I to be with you on this joyous occasion. I know she joins me in hoping that you keep your tools sharp and that you continue to succeed. Class of 2017, congratulations and good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you very much, Dean Hanna and Madam Provost. God bless all of you.
Let's hear it again for that wonderful speech. Thank you so much. Now for the big event. We will now have the conferring of degrees. I recognize Dr. Karen Laughlin, Dean of Undergraduate Studies, who will present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees.
Will all candidates for the bachelor's degrees please rise? Provost McCrory, I have the honor on behalf of the faculty of the Florida State University to present these candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, and Bachelor of Social Work.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Florida Board of Governors and the Florida State University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the appropriate degree for which you have qualified, whether the Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, or Bachelor of Social Work degree. We extend to you our most sincere congratulations. You may now change your tassels from right to left. Woo! Please be seated. Now that the bachelor degrees have been conferred, will the recipients please come forward so that we may recognize you and congratulate you individually?
Provost McCrory, Dean Laughlin, had the pleasure of presenting the following recipients of the bachelor's degree: College of Applied Studies. Amber Bosley. Sandra Cooper. Kayla Holder. Jeremy Dale Jones. Lindsay Miller. Ashley Bregel, magna cum laude. Ashley Brown, Aubrey Brown. I need him sooner. Daniel Gracie. Brooke Jaworski, cum laude. Courtney Saunders. Joshua Turner. Tuzara Wilhammer Olaf. Caleb Casey. Jennifer Hendrick. Clinton Smith. Megan Alderman. Nicholas Alexander. Jacqueline Bostick Lindsay. David Carson. Derek Coker. Sandra Diaruganaga, cum laude. Corlan Emborski. Brian Garman. Zachary Hand. Cameron Hatcher, magna cum laude. Ashlyn Jernigan. Micah Lister, summa cum laude. Jordan McAllister. Jeannie Mitchell. Michelle Odom. Tiara Owens. Keith Rogers. Anna Smith. Candace Logan Snodgrass. Melena Ward. Cameron Butts. Robin Carroll. Lauren Corbin. Kaylin Douglas, magna cum laude. Claire Drake. Delaney Miller. Taylor Kyle Olmsted. Hannah Putinkowski. Mackenzie Reinhardt. Amanda Wendt. FAMU FSU College of Engineering. Joseph Becknell. Dennis Beletoven, magna cum laude. Matthew Buckskeeper, cum laude. Wesley Chevalot, magna cum laude. Sarah Evans. Veronica Grant. Madison Harrell. Matthew Lolavar. Stephen Neese. Brandon Purvis. Slow down. Dylan Reed. Wyatt Rothwell. Sethan Simmons. Caitlin Startzel. Jana Blankenship. Hayden DeForge. Curtis Gilbert. Brandon Harmon.
Yay, Brandon!
Evan Sarantos.
All right, Santos!
Kendall Schroeder, cum laude. Larry Aaron Cox.
All right, cuz.
Martin Dvorak. Jared Clem. Gregory Tate. Mariana Villanueva Cruz.
Yay, buddy.
Nathaniel Walsh. Justice Wubser, cum laude. College of Social Sciences and Public Policy. Marissa Cordell. Whitney Davis. College of Business. Jeremy Cook. Sorry. Maria Jordan. Rebecca Shockley. Sheila Williams. Nicole Childry. Mitchell Fowler. Michael Fowler. Sorry. Allison Gross. Joseph Harris. Bennett Johnson. Amanda Long. Christy McKnight. Austin Miles, cum laude. William Parker. Stephanie Robertson. Connie Rodriguez. Addison Sharp. Shane Young. College of Social Work. Victoria Clifford, cum laude. Christopher Gaines, magna cum laude. Jennifer Grog. Christy Grumbling. Kira Lennox. Christina Reich, magna cum laude. Mariah Reinhardt, cum laude. Samantha Smith, cum laude. College of Education. LaJane Albibi, magna cum laude. Victoria Davenport. Bridget Granville. Olivia Getler, cum laude. Alexandria Monique Hall, magna cum laude. Angel Morris. Ann Mercedes Palmasani. Carolyn Popple. Lacey Strickland. Emily Tweedell, magna cum laude. Richard Wallace. Morgan Walters. College of Arts and Sciences. Carrie Johnson. Anthony Rawls. Neil Reeves. Austin Womack. Derek Yan. Amy Boone. Taylor Buck, cum laude. Cynthia Collier, honors in the major.
Yay, Cynthia.
Elizabeth Deaton. Carson Flowers, cum laude. Courtney Grombeck. Alicia Harvey. Christina Horimoto. Christina Pitts. Cayman Russell. Russell Searles III. Jordan Walsingham. Jacob Willard. Guess that's all. Okay, Provost.
Let's give all our wonderful graduates another hand, please. At this time, I would like to recognize Dr. Judith Devine, Senior Associate Dean of Graduate Studies, who will present the candidates for master's degrees.
Will the candidates for the master's and specialist degrees please rise? Provost McCrory, I have the honor on behalf of the graduate faculty to present the candidates for the master's and specialist degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Florida Board of Governors and the Florida State University Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the appropriate degree for which you have qualified, whether master's or specialist. We extend to you our sincerest congratulations. Please be seated. Now that the master's and the specialist degrees have been conferred, will the recipients please come forward and be recognized individually?
Provost McCrory, I have the pleasure of presenting the following recipients of the master's and specialist degrees. From the College of Applied Studies, Julia Krensick. Serena DiCalagiro. Taylor Duro. Sabrina McAllister. Elizabeth Rios. College of Social Work. Janishka Buford. Shake her hand. Renata Chambers. Cassandra Stareen. Ivan LaRiviere. College of Arts and Sciences. Shauna Adams. Jennifer Baker. Amberly Bossert. Elizabeth Botkin. Lauren Broadwell. Emily Caruso. Tracy Cumby. Christina Domenici. Deborah Nicole Henrati. Mia Hobson. Jessica Hurtlebrink. Jessica Lammers. Summer Livingston. Isabel Riofrio. Melissa Sagatola-Slami. Faith Warner.
Let's have another big round of applause for our Masters and Specialist graduates. I'd like to echo what Dr. Dunn mentioned, and it's really appropriate for all of us to recognize that for most of our graduates, this day would not be possible without the assistance and support of their parents. You heard from some, their spouses, and other members of their family. At this time, I ask all of you once again to please stand up, and parents, spouses, and other family members and special friends, please stand up, and let's recognize everyone together. Thank you. All right, thank you, everyone. Please have a seat. Feels good to stand up every once in a while, huh? It's my pleasure to also thank the Bay Wind Band under the direction of Mr. Fred Boswell for providing music for our ceremony today. Thank you. The FSU Panama Choral Ensemble for singing of the national anthem and the hymn to the garnet and the gold. Rhonda Tingler for interpreting for the hearing impaired. All of the Florida State Panama City students and staff who are serving as ushers today. Thank you, everyone, for making this such a wonderful ceremony. We end this commencement with the singing of the hymn to the garnet and the gold and the recessional. Following the hymn, the platform party will lead the recession. The graduates and faculty will follow. Please rise.